Odell was out here before and said, of course he'd like the ball more, but he understands, it's 3 games, et cetera, et cetera. Do you guys need to do a better job of getting him more touches, though, Alex?
Yeah, he needs to touch the ball. He's a good player, and finding ways to get him the ball is important to all of us. He does so much for us. Just thinking about the touchdown to Higgins, 3 guys covered him. He brings a lot out there. He gets a lot of coverage drawn his way. I know the production hasn't been there for him, and I'm not worried about that. I do think it will come. It's still early in the process for him back on the field, so that's not an issue in my mind. But it's the other stuff that he does really in the run game. I know it's not sexy, but he was really effective. Really came down and really put the wood to a couple of those safeties in the game. He does a lot of great things other than catching the ball on the field. But yeah, I would like to see him catch some more balls.
There's a happy medium there. I mean, it's like if you throw it to him 10 times, you're accused of forcing it to him. If you throw it to him 4 times, you're not involving him enough. And you have so
Sure.
many playmakers offensively. Just from your perspective, what is that happy medium of feeding him enough so he's effective, but not force feeding him?
Well, I think you call plays with him in mind, and we call a lot of plays with him in mind. There's no doubt our game plans are focused around him in a lot of the ways, like where can we put him where we can get him the ball. Now the defense sometimes won't let you do that, so I don't think it's a matter of us not trying to get him the ball as much as we definitely have that in the back of our mind when we game plan. Sometimes defense doesn't allow you to throw him the ball, so just staying patient, stay within our system, our process. We feel really good about everybody that's out there right now, but really appreciate his effort out there, and we're all in it to win at the end of the day.
Even when you see things on film that say you have some buy-in from him, do you still feel like you have to talk to him and say your day's coming?
I think every great receiver, and I would be mad if he didn't want the ball more. I mean, really, that's the reality of it. Those guys need to touch it, and they want to touch it. And the human nature is to get frustrated when you don't. But like I said, it's way too early in the season right now to worry about that in my mind. His plays will come for sure, and it'll probably come in bunches when it does.
Yeah, it seems like every week we're asking you about Baker and Odell. No other receiver.
Yeah, you want to talk about Blake Hance coming in and playing lights out against Joey Bosa. You want to talk about James Hudson coming in and playing in backup of Jack. I mean, there's a lot of other guys on that offense that make us successful. Obviously it's important to everybody else about that. For us, it's not. We go to work with the guys. We're proud of the guys that we have out there, and it'll come. I'm not worried about that.
But still, it seems like Baker is in rhythm with other guys, but 2.5 years or whatever now, it still doesn't seem to be clicking with Baker and Odell. So why is that?
I don't think that's. I don't know where to put the finger on that one. A lot of the times, like I said, defense dictates where the ball goes. I haven't seen any miscommunications on the field where Odell's in one spot and Baker's throwing to a different spot. So I guess I don't feel that as much as maybe it shows up for everybody else, because we practice out here 3 times a week and it looks great.
Alex, Kevin talks a lot about collaboration with you guys during a game as far as play calling. But at the end of games, does the collaboration get in the way at all? Everything is so hectic. Doesn't somebody have to just be there for every play?
Yeah, that's Kev. I mean, he does a great job with that. If we don't just sit there and say, how about this? Let's do this. It's a matter of, hey, what do you guys think on this one? And then we collaborate at that point. But Kevin's in charge, and he's done a great job with the play calling. I mean, I don't know if I've been around much better. When he gets going, it's impressive to watch.
Speaking of those tackles, where do you think you stand this week with Jed and Jack?
Yeah, not really sure. Hopefully we can get him out later in the week. But if not, it's next man up mentality for us. And those guys, Blake, I was really proud of him last week. He did a really nice job. Bosa went over there on his side a lot, and he held up. It was great. And then James came in late in the game and played well for us. So next man up mentality. I know that's how we prepare those guys, and they'll be ready to go. If Jed's back, that's a bonus. If Jack's back, that's a bonus. But if not, feel really good about our guys.
If you need both those guys, do you like Blake better at left tackle?
Oh, that's yeah. I would defer to Coach Callahan on that for sure.
And Jed, we saw him start practice yesterday, and it looked like the ankle was bugging him again, and he stopped. Was it only the beginning?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to speculate on anything like that. I know he tried to do some work yesterday, and it's just a matter of how good he'll feel on Sunday.
You kind of touched on this, but they moved Joey over to that side a little more. I mean, did you guys expect them to test Blake like that?
Absolutely.
How important was Joel kind of in helping
Yeah, Joel's big. I mean, obviously he's the leader of that offensive line. Yeah, we thought they would move Joey over, and test us on that left side, and Blake answered the bell. It's good to see.
Alex, your offense is so fast and can get down the field fast in any part of the game, it seems. Yet, is there something to be said about tapping the brakes to just stabilize things and keeping the other team off the field more?
That's tough as an offensive coach to slow down, really. I mean, when you're scoring touchdowns, it's good. So we want to score touchdowns, as many as we can.
You scored 35-35. You go down and just hand it off, and it only took 2.5 minutes to get to
You never apologize for breaking long touchdowns. So, it's part of it. But, offensively, the more points we score, the better.
Do you think you'll have Jarvis on Sunday?
I'm not sure. Yeah, medically, I'm not sure where he's at. Hope so. Can't wait to get him back, whenever that is, because he's obviously a big part of our offense and a huge leader for us.
Was it something about the Chargers defense that you guys liked? I know you run a lot of 3 tight ends anyway, but it felt like the whole first quarter plus was almost all 3 tight ends. Was it something about what they did defensively?
We had a plan going in. We wanted to see how they responded and matched certain personnel groupings, and when we found one we liked, we stuck with it.
And are teams, even in that package, doing a better job or covering the deep ball differently? Because it felt like last year you'd run some play action out of that, and a guy would be open deep. And I don't think you've had the same opportunities this year.
We have not. Don't know if we've had those deep ball shots like you're saying yet, but eventually, they'll come. You can't stay back and defend the run all day, from that shell. So you'll have to bring somebody down in to stop the run, and that's when that'll open up.
Speaking of deep ball, Alex, and I apologize, it's a specific play, but the second to last where Donovan was going deep and Odell came over, did Baker see that safety? Because some people thought Odell was wide open, but it seemed to be the safety that.
Yeah, that's for quarterback talk. That's a read there where the quarter safety sits and the ball goes over the top.
Yeah.
That's the read.
So it was the right read.
Alex, we've never seen coaches be so aggressive on 4th down, and sometimes it seems to kind of defy conventional wisdom. I mean, Staley goes for it 4th and 4 at the 28 or whatever
Right.
this week. I think that's here to stay. Is that where the analytics are taking the game now, that we're going to see more?
I think so. Within reason, making smart decisions. If the analytics say that it's in your favor to do it, I think most teams now are leaning towards the analytics.
What stands out about that Cardinals defense, and how different is it without if Chandler Jones does?
Obviously, he's a force, very disruptive pass rusher. Not sure if he'll make it to the game or not, but he's a guy we definitely have to be aware of. It's a really good defense. There's a lot of defense out there. They do a lot of different things. They're very multiple. Vance does a great job with that scheme, and it'll be a challenge for us.
What do you see from Watt?
Same player. He's disruptive in the run game, disruptive in the pass game. He still brings a lot of juice. Has one of the best arm over moves, in the business, and it shows up all day on Sunday. So definitely still playing at a high level.